welcome back. Today I am here with my October book haul. The month is almost over. This is probably most of the books I'm gonna have. Some of these are from September and I have a lot of different categories. So I'm really excited to share these books with you guys. Also, note for October, I have this awesome headscarf. Yes, that's right. It is Day of the Dead Star Wars. It's awesome. I am currently obsessed with this Etsy shop called Winnie's Whimsy. This isn't like sponsored or anything, but I'll leave a link to her shop down below. She makes these super cute handmade headscarves that you can like tie yourself, and I now have like 4 of them. I will probably continue to buy them and they're just great. Some of them are more like fandom related, some of them are just normal, but I'm really loving them. Anyway, just thought I would share. So let's do question of the day before I get into the book haul. And if you guys aren't familiar, I have a video where I talk about this, but I am now including a question of the day in all of my videos. Every answer to a question of the day, if you are subscribed to my channel, is an entry into an international giveaway where once every 2 months I will draw a winner and purchase a book from Book Depository for you. And so if you guys want to enter anytime within that 2-month span, you can do that by answering the questions of the day on the videos. Question of the day today is, do you like collecting books in special editions, or do you prefer a more minimalist approach to your bookshelves? Let me know what you think. All right, so about the books, I have quite a few to share with you. I have some that were sent to me from publishers, one from an author, I've got some from friends, and then things I've picked up from signings and pre-orders and just other sort of random things. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to start with the books that were sent to me by publishers and authors. So the first one that I have to share with you, this is a copy that was sent to me by the author. She reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in reviewing her book, and after taking a look at the first chapter and kind of what it's about, it seems really up my alley. She is an indie author and this is her debut novel. Also, the cover is beautiful. This is The Last Dragon Princess by Cynthia Payne. So I will be reading this in the next couple of months. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for sending me a copy. I mean, that's like a gorgeous book. And it sounds really interesting. It is YA fantasy with dragon shifters. The main character is born with these marks on her that mean that she's a princess, but she's from the lowest caste in their society, and so that's really unusual, and I think there's a lot of like political intrigue and romance. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to this, so thank you for sending me a copy. Definitely go check it out. Like I said, it's her debut novel, and she is an indie author, and you know, I do like supporting indie authors when I can, if it's something that I think I would really enjoy and be interested in, so I will be picking this one up soon. Then I have a few books that were sent to me from the Harlequin publicity team for Instagram promotions. If you don't follow my Instagram account, I do a lot of book-related content there. It's always linked below if you guys want to check it out. And so I'm not required to read these, although most of them I probably will because they look pretty cool. So first up, they had this really awesome holiday mailing. Guys, I'm so ready for Christmas. Halloween's gonna be fun, but Christmas is definitely my favorite holiday. I love Christmas, and it just makes me feel so festive that I have these books right now. So they sent me 3 books, and I'm gonna be getting more. It's very exciting. Lots of Christmas books, so expect those coming up. So the first one, this one I'm probably most excited to pick up. This is called The Christmas Sisters by Sarah Morgan, and it is set in Scotland, and it's about a mom and her 3 grown adopted daughters, and it's got romance, and it's kind of got just like life things. It's about family and coming together in Christmas time, and look at the cover. I mean, guys, like, oh, I'm so excited. It's super cute, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. This is probably the one that I'm most like, okay, I'm gonna put this on my TBR pretty soon because it sounds amazing. I also got 2 kind of fun small town Texas cowboy romances. So the first one is called Lonestar Christmas by Delores Fossen. This one is about a cattleman who ends up returning home even though he doesn't want to his small town, and meets up with his childhood crush, and they start a whirlwind romance, but there are secrets, and will that romance survive it? I mean, you know, it's probably going to because he's always unhappily, but like it just looks like a really cute romance novel for that. And then the other one is called Mistletoe Miracles by Jodi. Guys, these covers, they're so festive and fun. It makes me feel ready for Christmas. This has like 3 different love stories with people going through all these different things. So anyway, those are those. And then the other thing that I was sent, I'm kind of excited to have actually. It's a book by an author that I have never read. I know she's really popular and I've been really kind of wanting to try her out. So she's starting a new series. So this seems like maybe a good opportunity to give her a try. This is Shadow and Ice by Gena Showalter. I know she's a really popular fantasy romance author. I have not read anything by her. And this is the beginning of a new series. This is the Gods of War series. So this sounds interesting. It's like a paranormal romance, and yeah, excited to give that one a try too. So thank you so much to Harlequin for sending me those. I'm looking forward to reading them, and there are pictures, or will be pictures, of all of them up on my Instagram, so go check that out. All right, the next category I thought I would talk about is books that were sent to me from friends. First up, I'm really excited to have this. I did like send her money to cover the cost of the book, but Amanda over at the Naughty Librarians got me a signed copy, guys, of Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, which I'm so excited to have. It's so pretty. So, okay, the Remnant Chronicles, I have recently been really getting into. I haven't read the third book yet, but I read the first two, and I'm loving this world and loving her writing, and so this is the beginning of a new series set in the same world as the Remnant Chronicles. And Amanda told me she was going to an event where she was going to be there and was like, does anybody want a signed copy? I was like, yes, please, I would love a signed copy. That would be amazing. Look, it's got a map. The map is beautiful. And look at that. I mean, oh my gosh, guys, that's fine. That's fine. It's just, it's a gorgeous book. And it's signed to me. It's so cool. So I'm really excited to pick this up. I need to finish the series. I've got one more book in the original trilogy, and then I can pick this one up. So thank you so much, Amanda, for getting this for me. I'm very excited to have it. And then, because she's wonderful, my friend Katrina over at the Fabulous Book Fiend was traveling in the UK for a while and asked me if I wanted any UK editions of books, and I did tell her one that I was looking for, and she ended up sending me another book too, which was just like super sweet of her. So the first one is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is the UK paperback, and I just think it's really pretty, and I was able to get this in time to go to a signing for Muse of Nightmares, the sequel, so I have it signed. So I have read this. I love it. Thank you so much. And then she also kindly sent me the Slytherin edition of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is super exciting. I have the Slytherin paperback edition of the first one, and they're just so pretty. I am a Slytherin. It is my house. And they've got like green sprayed edges. They got a little beat up in the mail because the post office sometimes sucks, but I don't really care because they're beautiful. So thank you so much to Katrina for sending those to me, because those are fantastic. Yeah, and of course these are both ones I've read already, but they will be having a beautiful place on my bookshelves. Next, I have some books that I purchased for signings, and I think I have like one pre-order. Is it just one? No, two. Okay, I have two pre-orders that came in. One of them I did actually take to a signing, so let me show you this. And I've read and reviewed it already. This is Damsel by Elana K. Arnold. I have a complete review up. If you guys want to check it out, I will link it up above. I really liked this book, but I have a video talking about whether this book is appropriate for teenagers or not. So if you want to hear my thoughts, I would call this feminist horror dressed up like a fairy tale. If you have any interest in hearing more about it, go check out my review. But also, it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful book. And when I went to this signing, it was also a signing for one of my favorite books of the year, which I had an arc of. Now I own a finished copy of. This is Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. Guys, you gotta know, she's like one of my new favorite authors. And this book is beautiful, and it's got like just the feel of it is so pretty, and it is signed. These were both signed, and she was just like lovely. Oh, it's like a navy blue. I'm so excited about this. This is such a good book. So I think I did a review video of this as well, which I can link up above. I did this a while back, but it just came out. Cannot recommend it enough. I would say that this is sort of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Stranger Things, except way more scary, super feminist, and super queer. It's really good. I loved it. So both of those were at a signing together and in conversation. They were just great. It was very fun. The one other pre-order that I had that came in this month was this beautiful illustrated edition of Soulless by Gail. Let's just like appreciate this cover. It's so pretty, and like the spine. If you guys have not heard of Gail, oh, and it's signed. Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Guys, it's signed. It's signed. Oh, I didn't even know. That's so cool. Yes. Okay, so if you guys have not heard of Gail, she's wonderful, and I'm so glad that she's starting to become more of a thing. This is the first in her original series. There's 5 books in it. It is paranormal, steampunk, Victorian romance, and it's just so much fun. I think I've said this before. I think she is the best writer of steampunk because she doesn't take herself too seriously, and I'm trying to think how to explain this. So the two things that I've seen done in steampunk that drive me nuts are, one, either it's all about the gadgetry and the mechanical stuff, and the plot is just sort of like takes a back seat to that and is really boring. Or there's this plot in this world and then the steampunk elements are just kind of thrown in on top to make for like window dressing, but you could take it away and it wouldn't make any difference. She does not do either one of those things. It is plot and character driven, but also the steampunk elements feel really woven into the world and are important to the plot and important to the world that she's creating. So I really appreciate that about her. That is not something that I think very many authors are able to do well. She does it. She's very funny, very tongue-in-cheek. Not everyone likes her. She's one of those authors that I think most people either kind of love or hate. I love her, but I would say give her a try and see if you like her tone. If so, she's got a bunch of books and series set in the same world, including a YA prequel series, and I'm all about it. I love it. I love her sense of humor. I love her characters. I like her writing, but yeah, give her a try. It's kind of like a hit or miss for a lot of people. But yeah, anyway, I'm very excited to have this illustrated edition now that I've gone on about it long enough. Okay, then I have a couple more books that I got for signings. Of course, the first one is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I mean, yeah, it's really pretty. I kind of want the UK edition of this one as well, but obviously, oh look at, I mean, the naked book is really beautiful. It's really pretty. It's a really good book, you guys. I had an arc of this as well, signed, yay! I did have an arc of this. I really liked it. I actually liked it better than Strange the Dreamer. I think it's a really good wrap up to this duology. Laini Taylor's writing is just beautiful and lyrical. She's another one where like some people don't enjoy it if they don't enjoy that type of writing, but if you like that kind of writing, she is amazing. So yeah, really like that. Happy to have that on my shelves. And then the final book, this one I have not read yet and want to read. I've heard good things about it, but I went to a signing for The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzi Lee. This is the sequel to Gentleman's Guide for Vice and Virtue. This is his sister Felicity's story. I love Gentleman's Guide. I read it last year and it completely just took me by surprise how good it was and how much I enjoyed it, and I got to interview Mackenzi Lee. I can like maybe find that video and link it up above as well, and she's just wonderful and really funny. So I wasn't sure if she would remember who I was, but she did. And she's like, oh yeah, I remember like the interview because it was like a year ago. This is so pretty, guys. So I went to a signing. I have not read this one yet, but I've heard it's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to reading this one soon, so I have that. All right. Moving on to more books, because there's more. Oh, it's so exciting. First, I could not believe this. I found an early copy of a book that I'm really, really excited to have, and I am actually going to a signing for this in November. This is Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow. This is the sequel to Forest of a Thousand Lanterns. And it's so pretty. Unfortunately, they did do a cover change, so it doesn't match my Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, but I really like the new cover and the spine, and it's really beautiful, so I have mixed feelings about that. Yeah, and it's this really pretty, like, kind of yellowy orange color. Forest of a Thousand Lanterns was her debut last year. It was one of my favorite books of the year. It is a YA Asian-inspired retelling of Snow White, but it is the backstory of the evil queen, and I loved it. Shifeng, I think is the main character's name, who's like the evil queen in the first book. My Slytherin heart like loved her, and also my heart broke for her as she descends into darkness, because you know that's what's going to happen because it's a story, but it was just so beautifully done. I absolutely loved it. It is a duology, so this is book 2, and this is a companion novel. It's the story of the Snow White character, so I'm really excited to get to this, guys. Also, it's really beautiful, so I'm very happy to have that. All right, then I have quite a few books that I already have read, so let's talk about some of those. One is I found a $5 paperback copy of Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend, and I really, really loved this. I got it out from my library, and I just want to own it. I want to have it for my kids as they get a little bit older. So I did pick up a copy. Book 2 is coming out this fall, and this is just great. I hear a lot of people comparing it to Harry Potter. I mean, it's not Harry Potter, it's a different story, but it's got the same vibe. It's got the same sort of magical feel and whimsicalness and focus on friendship and growing up, and I just really, really liked it. So I wanted to own a copy as my kids get a little bit older. So I have Nevermore. And then this, okay, so like those of you who are serious Red Rising fans might appreciate this. Other ones of you might not, which is fine. I went to my local bookstore, which includes used books, and I found this copy of this book for 50 cents. Yes, it is this edition of Red Rising. These are like promotional editions that are really hard to come by. And there are, I think, 4 or 5 different covers you can get. I already own the House of Minerva edition, but I've never seen this one before, and I found it for 50 cents. I mean, these go on eBay for like $100, so yeah, I'm super excited to add this to my collection. This is more of a collectible thing. How many copies of this do I have? I think this is my 3rd copy of Red Rising, which is, that's not bad. I know people who have lots more. Expect that parts of this series will also probably show up in my favorite books of the year, so yeah. Preview. I went to Barnes & Noble recently and I had some coupons. One was like a $5 off thing for anything in the kids area. So I ended up grabbing a paperback copy of a book I've been wanting because it only ended up costing me like $2 with my discount, with my membership discount and the $5 off. So this is The Silver Mask by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. This is the, what, fourth book in the Magisterium series. Book 5 just came out and I'm not up to date on it. I've read the first 3 of them, I think, and really liked them. I just think they're really fun. It kind of plays with some of the Harry Potter stuff but flips it, and they're just really fun, so I wanted to own this. So yeah, I grabbed that because I had a discount thing. And then I also had another coupon, so I decided to grab a book that I've been wanting, and this is more about completing a collection, to be honest. I want to read it, but I got this paperback edition of Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. It's so pretty. So I already owned a hardcover copy of Ruin and Rising. The first 2 books in the series I own in this edition, and I know I might be the minority, but I prefer this edition. I think they're really pretty, and so when I had a discount code, this seemed like a good time to pick this up. Also, I still need to read book 3, so I will be doing that soon, hopefully. So I'm really happy to have this, and then a friend of mine was like, hey, well, if you don't want the hardcover, can I buy it from you? I was like, sure. So that worked out really well. So it basically like paid for the fact that I bought this, so everybody's happy. So I now have the entire trilogy in this edition, so they all match. Yay! I know this is like a very chatty book haul, more than some of mine are, but I'm having fun with it. Okay, let's talk about some mass market paperbacks that I have. I have 2 romance novels that I picked up. You guys know, if you've been watching my stuff, I've been dipping my toes into romance and figuring out kind of what I like and what I don't like, and I'm finding that there are authors that I like. So one who I recently read a book by and really enjoyed, I think I gave it 4.5 stars, I'll talk about it in my wrap-up, but I read a book by Tessa Dare, and it's just fun, really funny. I like her sense of humor. She writes fun historical fiction. I picked up another one by her. This is The Governess Game, and you know, it's like about a governess who falls for a duke, and like, I don't know, they're fun. They're really fun, and sometimes after intense books that I'm reading, I need something light as a palate cleanser, and stuff like this is perfect. I also found for like 50 cents a copy of a book from an author that I've been wanting to read something by, and so I picked up Destinies Captive by Beverly Jenkins. She is like really big in romance, and she is a Black woman author, and I have been wanting to read something by her. She stole his ship and his heart. So it's got like a female pirate, which is pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try because I've been wanting to read something by her. Also, I found a couple other paperbacks for 50 cents. One is adding to my collection of Robin Hood books that I mostly have not read, but one day will. I have Mad Ship. This is book 2 in the Live Ship Traders series. I have a bunch of books by her. I've read 2 of them. So one day I'm gonna like get around to actually reading my collection of Robin Hood because I do like her, but they're like, you know, they're a lot to get into. The other one that I found is one that I've heard a lot of things about. This is more literary fiction, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and so I'm interested in reading something by him. So I found The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro. Oh, and it won the Man Booker Prize, so I don't really remember. Okay, a beautiful, haunting evocation of life between the wars in a great English house. See, that also just sounds really interesting. Like, I would be into something like that. So I'm curious to read this. I've not read anything by him, and I've heard a lot of people say good things about it, so I picked that up for 50 cents. And then I have a few other books that I picked up at the Strand, my local bookstore, and some of this is because I sold some books this month, and so I had some store credit. So some of these were from that, a couple of them weren't, but I think most of these were actually store. I think 4 of these? Yeah. Definitely 4 of these. So I got 4 of these with store credit from selling books to them, which I thought was pretty good. The first one is The Pros of Cons by, oh my gosh, The Pros of Cons by Allison Cherry, Lindsay Rybar, and Michelle Schusterman. So this just sounds so much fun. I heard the three of them talk on a panel. I've actually seen them at book events in New York a few times, and I've just been wanting to pick this up. I found a reduced price copy for like $9 and I had store credit, so it seemed like a good time to pick it up. It's about three girls who are all in the same convention center going to different conventions, and it just sounds really fun. So I love conventions. I have been going to them for many years. I intend to like books about conventions and about fandom. Also, it's just like such a cute, pretty book. Okay, so one of the girls is going to the We Treasure Fandom Convention, or WTF Con, which is gonna be like funny and light. And then one of them is attending the Indoor Percussion Association convention because she's a drummer. And then another girl is working as an assistant for her dad at the World Taxidermy Championships. So like super weird, but I've heard it's just like really funny. I liked the authors, and yeah, so I picked that up with store credit and I'm looking forward to giving that a try. Another one that I did with the store credit, because I found, well, two of these I found for $1 each in their kind of outdoor dollar section. This is 99 Days by Katie Cotugno. I read a short story by her in a collection and really enjoyed it, and I haven't read any of her books and I've been kind of interested. I've heard she writes really cute YA kind of summery romances. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I know it's supposed to be like a cute little romance, so that might be a good one to stick in between some heavier things. And then also for $1, I found a copy of the Morganville Vampires by Rachel Kane. I feel like I've heard people say that these are good. I have not read any of them. Oh, it's funny, it's got like a little holiday card in it. You never know what you find in books, seriously, especially like used ones. It's always kind of interesting. Anyway, I don't know. Let me know if you guys have read this, if you liked it or think it's good. I know some people have been really into the series, so I thought for $1 I would give that a try. And then the final book that I used store credit to pick up was one that was $2, and this is a book, it's not something I would normally probably gravitate towards, but it's another one where I heard the author speak on a panel and it piqued my interest. So this is Here to Stay by Sarah Farazan. And like normally, like anything to do with sports, I would have really no interest in, but this book sounds pretty interesting. This is about a Arab Muslim boy who is really into playing basketball, and then something happens and rumors start getting around and he starts dealing with racism. And so even though it has sports in it, the book is really not so much about sports, and it's about issues that I do care about. And yeah, it just sounds really interesting. So like it says, Bijan Majidi is shy around girls, really into comics, decent at basketball. Bijan Majidi is not a terrorist. Yeah, anyway, so this just sounded really cool. I liked the author. I thought she was really interesting to hear talk about, and so when I saw it for super cheap, I picked that up. Okay, and then I have two other books that I did purchase at the Strand. Both of them were half price, so I think like $9 each. The first one is one that my friend Mara over at Books Like Whoa recently got. I think she actually got a copy from the publisher, but this just sounds really interesting. It is a translated YA novel, which is kind of cool, and I think I've said before I'd like to do more translated fiction. This is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos, book 1 in the Mirror Visitor series. So I guess this was a best-selling YA fantasy novel in French, and it's recently been translated into English, and the cover is really pretty. It sounds interesting. I mean, YA fantasy, you know, I'm going to be into it. And this is a Europa edition, so I don't really know what this is about. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. So it sounds like a really cool book. It's the first in a quartet, and it has a girl who's able to like travel through mirrors and do all these things, and it just sounds really awesome. So I'm excited to have that. So Mara, if you see this and you want to buddy read it, if you haven't read it yet, I'm up for that. So yeah, seems pretty cool. And then the last book, this was like, I don't really need this necessarily. I actually own an arc of it, but I wanted the finished copy because it's so pretty, and I think I'm gonna love it. I hope I do. Hope I'm right. We'll see. But this is Black Wings Beating by Alex London. Guys, the cover is just so pretty, and the spine is so pretty, and it is YA fantasy with like some queer representation and falconry. My child is fussing. I think I'm gonna love it. I have not read my arc yet. It was on my TBR this month. Maybe I'll get to it in November now that I have a finished copy as well. But yeah, so there you go. That is the last book that I picked up this month. Yeah, talk to me in the comments down below. I have a lot of books in my haul this month actually that I have already read, which doesn't always have, like, how many of these have I already read? I've read like 7, 8. Yeah, 8 of these books are books that I have already read and I know that I want to own. 5 of them are books that were sent to me by publishers. So anyway, so I think I did like pretty good. I'm trying, guys, I'm really trying to tone down my book purchasing because it's a lot lately. I, at some point, want to do a book haul revisit series, so tell me if you guys are interested in seeing that, where I go back to my previous book hauls and see how many of the books that I purchased I've already read, and I want to try to be a little bit more aware of that and trying to be a little bit more strategic in terms of using my library for certain things. So anyway, all that to say, these are the books that I picked up this month. Talk to me in the comments down below. Any of your thoughts or feelings would be great. Love chatting with you guys. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.